Rebecca, welcome.
Thank
Well,
you.
We're so
our this is our
excited to have
first.
you.
We are so excited to have you. You are our
Thank you.
first guest. And so to properly introduce you, you know, most people look at a pile of clothes their kid outgrew and feel guilty. But you, our first guest, looked at that pile and saw a company. Rebecca Bahmani, welcome.
Rebecca, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be your first guest, by the way. You'll never forget me.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
How could we will never forget you. She's a fellow Dream Ventures grad as well. So that's how we all met too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different cohorts, but no, I'm so excited to talk about what you're building, what you're doing. If you want to kick it off by just starting like what Pre-Love You is, so that way people can get like a little reference.
Pre-Love You is a shopping experience that is like no other for a parent who is super frustrated with the outgrown piles of clothes and their kids outgrowing things in 2 seconds. It is a membership platform where your children's clothing have value. So you become a member, you send them in, we issue credits for them. The credits go into your account, you use them like cash, and you shop on our platform. In addition to that, we even take things with holes and stains. We'll give you 1 credit for those, and we properly upcycle them with our nonprofit partner who grinds it up and uses it for insulation.
That is so cool.
That's
Like for
amazing.
housing insulation?
Yeah. So and housing insulation typically stays in like 15, 20 years. And so it's part of a larger circular, network of it's not going anywhere. It's
Yeah.
staying put for a while. And they don't have to sort it either. They take bags and shoes, they take clothing. Well, a lot of these upcycling partners, they have to separate everything out with like cotton with cotton, if they're redoing yarns or things like that, and they're recycling yarns. I spent 30 years in fashion, and people use recycled poly and they think it's great for the environment. And truth of the matter is that poly is the hardest thing to break down. So even though you're recycling poly, you're still using a fabric that is it takes hundreds and hundreds of years to break down. So I was always confused. I'm like, why are we using recycled poly? I don't really understand. But
No, that's so interesting. Is this, and like Rebecca, I know that you and Nat know each other a lot better than I think you and I have had a chance to just like get to know each other. But I'm just curious, like you had your background in fashion, and so it's like you already knew this. What do you feel like has been the biggest learning since building Pre-Love You?
um, it's really kind of pivoted and not pivoted. It's really become multi-layered. But given my background in fashion, I knew about, the mass production, the overconsumption. What I didn't know, and this is really how my aha moment was when I was pregnant with my second child. My second is a boy, my first is a girl. And I remember being pregnant. It was during COVID. Everybody was home. And I remember sitting in front of like these bins of my daughter's clothes and thinking like, shit, what am I doing with all this stuff, right? Like, I can't give them to my son. He's not wearing like pink polka dots.
Yeah.
And based on what I knew about the fashion industry, I never take anything at face value. I always know that like there's some sort of greenwashing. I know that they're telling a different story to the public than what really goes on. So I actually researched what happens to clothing when we donate them. And that was really eye-opening because 85% of clothes that's donated, 85% of clothes that's discarded, 85% of clothes in general end up in landfills or being incinerated. And typically a family will get rid of about 81 and a half pounds of clothes per year, which is pretty astounding. I mean, people will drop things off at Goodwill, think that they're doing something better for somebody else.
Yeah.
But truth of the matter is that these places don't have capacity. So that was really eye-opening for me. But when I started building the platform, I realized it was so much more having 2 kids and having to sort through 2 kids' clothes, because they're just constantly growing. So there's the relief aspect. And truth of the matter is that the sustainability became more value add than the relief that we're giving to parents. Then there was also the layering on of children building or children have 85% of their self-esteem by the time they're 5. So this platform allows them to tell their story without a parent saying like, oh, we just got so-and-so's hand-me-downs, so you have to wear them. Take a sporty boy who is wearing non-sporty clothes, or vice versa,
Right.
non-sporty boy who's wearing sporty clothes. So you have a kid who's in that crucial developmental moment, not being able to be who they want to be because they're just wearing hand-me-downs, because kids are really expensive. They learn value. They know that when something is outgrown, they don't have to. I'm like going off on a tangent, so feel free
No,
to
no, no,
stop me.
no. But
So good.
But because parents are shopping late night, right? Late at night, their kids are asleep, they're shopping online, things magically appear. They don't really understand the transaction. So the platform can bring kids into the fold, teach them to shop secondhand from a young age into adulthood, teach them about value, and then give them agency. And there's the emotional part, if you want me to get into that now, for a parent who's like, oh my God, what? Like they outgrew this. I love that I have so many memories. And generally we just shove them anonymously into a garbage bag and you don't know what happens to them. We're about to introduce a digital library book card where you can actually see on the product page who's had it before. It's like a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or a modern day
That's
chain
so
letter.
sweet.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being a parent and saying like, "Oh, I'm looking for like a raincoat," and I see a raincoat that looks like my daughter's, and I'm like, "Wait, that looks like my daughter's. Let me click into the product page. Oh, wow, that was my daughter's. And look, there are two other girls that have had it afterwards." It's not anonymous anymore. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the literal common thread, I call it.
Wait, I want to know how it's been building this company as your kids are growing up, right? Because I feel like when you first started it, they were so little, and now as they've grown, like, have you been able to find, like, implement things into Pre-Love You? Sorry, I'm like choking. Wait, okay. Have you been able to find all these solutions to what you've been adding to Pre-Love You as they've grown up? Or are these things that you've thought about before, you know?
I mean, I'd say that most of it, as I've thought about it before, but something like the library book card is something as they've grown, as I'm packing orders or have packed orders from my own kids' clothes, and I'm like, I don't want to get rid of that. Like, what are you going to do
yeah.
with that? Like, I remember when my kids wore that. I mean, there's an order that came in over the weekend that has my kids' clothes in it, and I'm like, but I'm confident that they'll either come
Beautiful.
back or I know where they're going, right?
Yeah.
Like I know where they're going. And to me, that makes me feel better. And truth of the matter is that I didn't get rid of my kids' clothes because I didn't want that to happen. Not to mention the fact that because I'm a 30-year veteran in the fashion industry, I tend to have a different aesthetic than a lot of people. It sounds snobby, but I'm not putting my kids in like Minnie and Mickey. I'm not putting them in certain things. Like I like the hunt. I like finding vintage. I could find a
You're
Marnie
so good
sweater
at
for
it too.
$20. What?
Oh my
You're
God.
so good at it too.
I love it, and that to me brings that emotion. But I know that other people who are going to take it are going to appreciate it, right? I mean, I dress my kids sometimes in Stella McCartney that I
I
bought
love.
secondhand. Not like I don't
No,
buy.
but still, but that's the cool, like that's even cooler, right? Where like I think I'm really bad at it. I've tried to be a lot better, but I'm just so impatient of like
Me too.
going to a thrift store or like because there are so many incredible finds that you just have to wait for it and you have to know where to go and how to look for it. But I
Right.
feel like it's such an underrated skill. And I think especially for kids, I actually was just talking about this weekend with my sister. She's getting her best friend's kids. Like one of the kids is her godson, but there's three of them. And they're moving from Louisiana to Miami, back to Miami. And she's making little like welcome baskets for them
Oh,
with like the
cute.
shirts from each of the Miami teams so that they're ready to go for whatever
So cute.
games they go to. My mom and I immediately go, what size are you getting them? Like
Yeah.
they're under the age of 10. So we're like, they're going to grow out of that real fast. We're like, you're not getting the jerseys, right? She's like, no, 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 just like the normal shirts, but I'm going to get them a size bigger so they have a whole year with it. But it's something to your point that you really have to think about, especially for kids, because they grow it out so quickly and it could
Yeah.
be in perfect condition. So it's like, how do you really create a system where, to your point, you don't just give it to Goodwill and you don't know what happens with it, but it really like is loved. It was loved when you had it and continues to be loved.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that anybody who's a member of the platform really gets that. They understand that. I, speaking to what you said, like you have a hard time with it, just to give you some advice in that, know
Yeah,
your
please.
style. Know your style. know what you like, because when you know what you like, you know what brands you like, you know what you're looking for, it streamlines the process where you're not just going through a bunch of stuff that you're like, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. You know, you could find a treasure and you could kind of challenge yourself and wear it. But like if you know your style, that's how I mean, I know my style.
Yeah.
So I know that I can easily like, but I could go down a
Find
rabbit
something.
hole too. I mean, like I'm pretty sure that I bought this on like an Instagram thing that popped up. Or
Don't we all? You have your
guilty.
pieces. Of course.
Guilty. But I mean, even for your kids, know your kids' style. How do you want to dress them, right? I mean, eventually
That's
they're going to want to dress themselves. And
yeah.
I have a hard time with that. I have to bite my lip often. Like my daughter was wearing this cute elephant dress today with like this like great cashmere sweater over it, but then she was wearing like blue socks and her Vans that are like rainbow check. I'm like, that's an interesting one, but I just let her go because that's who she is. She's got to
Yeah.
do what she wants. But yeah,
Have your kids like as also like as you've been building this too, like I feel like you posted this recently. You guys were doing a photo shoot in the barn and your
hmm
daughter was like styling like the stuff. Have they been asking questions or like wanting to be more involved in the company?
my daughter does. I mean, both of my kids know that when something is outgrown, that it's going to pre-love you. I'm like, where is this
I
going? It
love it.
doesn't fit you anymore. Oh, we're gonna put it in the pre-love you pile.
I love
They know
that.
that. My daughter is a creative. I mean, she's a thorough creative. So when I'm taking photographs in the barn, she's all there. She's like, that's what I want to do. My son's only 5, so I don't think he's there
They're
yet.
little.
But
Yeah.
my daughter, she loves it. She loves to be involved. I did a pop-up yesterday locally for like a sustainable fair because it's Earth Month and Earth Day was this past week. And she was like there trying to get people to come in and like telling them like you have to do pre-love you. It's amazing. Like it's the best thing ever. She was like selling for me and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so cute."
Well, because
That's
also
so
they see
sweet.
like they get to see a whole different perspective of like obviously being there when like the content's happening, you packaging all these orders. So I feel like it's different, and I feel like it's also really cool that they're able to capture it and also as they're growing, be part of the growth of Pre-Love You. You know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they've been doing this. I think I came up with the idea in November of 2022. Well, actually, earlier in 2020 when I the idea sparked.
Yeah.
But it went through iterations before, so it wasn't fully there. But I mean, he was a baby. She was also a year and a half, almost 2 years old. So yeah, they've grown with it. I know that my daughter this week was really upset, or last week was really upset because she came home and the first thing she said to me from school, she was like, they didn't announce Earth Day today. Nobody said anything about Earth Day. And she was devastated. She's like, I was the only one who knew it was Earth Day. She's like, not even the principal came on in the morning and said, good morning, happy Earth Day. I was like, what? I was annoyed too because like you have your green week and I'm like, why are you not teaching these kids that today is Earth Day? Like I know that you encompass like a green week, but today is the actual day that you should be celebrating. And
Yeah.
that was upsetting to me.
That kind of just leads us, and I know we're almost at time, and so I just want to make sure that we ask the most important question of what this pod's about,
Yeah.
right? Like Nat and I made sure that the inspiration behind this was because we have such a hard time drawing a line between our professional and personal lives. And I feel like,
Yeah.
Rebecca, you're the perfect first guest because, I mean, you were inspired by your kids. It's like it's so intertwined. And
Yeah.
so our staple question is where do you find it hardest in your life to draw that line? Like, what is the line that's hardest for you to draw in the sand, if you will, between your professional or personal, or do you just not?
I mean, I do and I don't. I've been operating out of my house, the barn, for this whole time, and I'm actually moving into an office in a few weeks because I I have to draw the line because when I'm in the office and I'm doing work, my kids will come in I don't want them like around the clothing. Like, I mean, I'm very organized and it's in bins, but I mean, it's hard to stay organized, or I'm in the middle of doing something and I feel like I'm neglecting my kids. So drawing the line there, and I need to separate, having everything in my house to having an office, because the kids just, either I'm here and I'm present, or I'm in the office and I'm working. So I'm drawing a line there in the very near future, but it's hard as a parent because you always want to be around for your kids. And that's also having your own business, right? Because I have a lot more freedom to do things with my children than I did working for somebody else when like I couldn't be present. So the line is blurred in that sense, I'd say.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
And it does, and I feel like that's a great first step, and it's also so exciting because it's like you're taking a full new step in like the right direction for pre-love you. And I think also as you're building, it'll allow like a good separation, but at the same time, like it is hard because like as your kids are growing up too, you're creating all these solutions, but it's also your personal life and like your professional life is always mixed
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it goes back to me having a children's business too, right? So they are always involved, but
Yeah.
it's you have to draw a line, but then you don't want to draw a line at the same time because
Wait,
you
I
yeah.
have just because of like, and I'm sure you saw, or I'm assuming you saw this of Emma Greed's quote. I'm curious, how do you feel? Just because we're talking about this and, drawing that line, and I think she's gotten a lot of backlash for saying that
Yeah.
she's like a 3 hour mom. And so I'm curious, like, how you took that and whether you feel it was out of context or just like your thoughts about that.
I mean, I think you do you. I'm not interested in judging other people. I say right now that I want to be fully present for my kids and be, we've never had help. My in-laws are in Europe. My mother and my sister don't live in the state. So I I haven't ever had help, so I've always been around, but I can't speak to the future of what will happen with Pre-Love You and how much time I'll have, but I'm very interested in being present. At the same time, I think there's a lot to say about being present in an office as well. I think that human interaction, and I agree with her there, human interaction goes a lot further than, when you're virtual with employees or, coworkers. Being present is a lot more productive. I mean, depends what you're doing, but I mean, I'm bringing on a full-time employee coming this summer, so
Oh,
That's
yeah,
exciting.
huge.
I'm excited to interact because I feel like, the way things are when somebody was doing this job virtually and part-time was not, it's not gonna, it wouldn't be the same as doing it full-time and being with somebody and feeling
Mhm.
like, you can interact. I mean, there's something to say about human interaction that I think is super important. So I don't pass judgment on what Emma Grede said. I think that people are so quick to fire away
Yeah,
and,
I
and
agree.
and pass judgment. And I think that you do you. What?
Yeah. I think it all goes back to like just being intentional and like
Yes.
like
Exactly.
working smart, not hard, in a
Right.
way where you're using your time and really valuing it. And I feel like that makes the most sense, especially like as you are building something. You're taking all these steps, but at the same time it's like you're learning constantly as you're doing it. Like you're
Yeah.
finding solutions to the problems as you're being like present and working and building. So I think that also has a lot to say.
Yeah, I mean, when I was working full time, I was in the city several days a week. I was
Right.
working on my phone at 4 in the morning because I was dealing with Asia, and so I was always like head in the phone. Having my own business, to be honest with you, I mean, it's a busier life. There's more to do. You're in the mix completely. You're rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty, but you can be more present if you choose that.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I love that.
Amazing.
Where can people find you? Like,
Yeah.
let's share socials, website, anything.
Yeah. My website is preloveyou.com. You can find us on Instagram at preloveyoukids.
Love it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. This was an incredible
Thank
first
you. I'm
guest
so
episode.
excited.
We loved
Yeah.
having you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you for having me. I'm excited to be your inaugural guest.
Yay.
Amazing.
Wait,
Thanks,
also,
guys.
I'm so excited that you're like opening up an office. I think that'll be perfect.
It's gonna be
It's
awesome.
only 2 seconds from my house, which is
No,
great
even
because then
better. Even
I
better.
could
But
still
the
run to the school if I have to. I'm
Yeah.
not far away. It's literally 2 seconds from my house.
big things are coming.
Big
Wait, I was
things.
just gonna stop recording. Hold on.